that I shared, the one that I shared today. Okay, that's from where we are going to start. So we could also study Namkarn from the Tatvat Mani Pradeep also, but since this is in a chart form, this is more easier. So we are doing this from there, and then we will switch over to Tatvat Mani Pradeep. Okay, after Namkarma. So Namkarma is only that we are going to see from here.
What's the page number?
अरिहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाय स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्हें से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। मोक्ष मार्गस्य नेतारं पेतारं कर्म भूभृतां ज्ञातारं विश्वतत्त्वानां वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये। Acharya Uma Swami's Tattvat Sutra, and we are on to bondage, chapter on bondage, 8th chapter. Okay, and in this 8th chapter under the bondage, so there are 4 kinds of bondage. Okay, nature, prakriti, pradesh, space points, prakriti, pradesh, sthiti, duration, and anubhag, intensity. These are the 4 types of bondages, out of which we were discussing the first one, prakriti, right? Nature. So under the nature, there are 8 types of karmas. So that we were discussing, and we have already discussed 5. I think 5 we have discussed. This is the 6th types of physic determining karma. Okay. So that's, we are going to start from chapter 8, and the page number, I think it is 150. 1 minute. 150, 150.
Sir, should I share that instead of this one page?
No, you don't have that book, no?
Tatvartha Mani Pradeep?
No. This is another book by Acharya Uma Swami, Tattvat Sutra.
Okay. Yes, I
So
don't have that.
So they don't have the soft copy for that, and that will be soon available on Amazon. But if you want, I can courier you from here. Physical book, I have one more copy, so I can courier you, can send me across the address. You are in Dallas, no?
Yes.
Okay, so I forgot.
Sir, is it the same book as Moksha Shastra?
No, it's not. This is
Okay.
this is a book. It's a translated from Hindi by Pujaji Chhabda of Indore, and Priyadarshana ma'am from Chennai and Sunita Jain from Chennai. They both have translated this, but it's in chart form. You can see the chart on your screen right now. Okay.
Okay.
So we are discussing, and so Nam Karma, that is called physic determining karma. Okay. It has 93 subtypes. Okay. So out of these, 65 are mentioned here. This whole chart is split into 2. Okay. So this is the first part, and then of course we will be looking at the second part also. So this all put together is 65. Then there is another chart where we will see the 10 individual types. That is not 10, 8. So 65 plus 8, 73. And then we have 20 pairs, 10 pairs. 10 pairs makes it 20. So 93 we are all going to define from this 3 charts. Okay. First, second, and there is third one coming up. So all these 3 charts will explain the 93 karma prakritis. Okay. So after you read this as a homework, you can also refer to Tattvat Mani Pradeep. So they have explained in one line each, but at a glance from the chart, it would be very good. Now, what is called pind prakriti? Pind means collection. Okay. So it's a collections. So 14 collections are there. And out of these 14, if you consider the subtypes, it works out to 65. So how do you get the gati? Okay. So Manushya gati, Tiryanj gati, these are all formation of Nam karma. These are different types of Nam karma. Okay. So why we are in now human life? Because of human human state of existence, because of Nam karma. So there is a subtype of Nam karma called human state of existence. Okay. Similarly, there are class of jeeves, 1 sensed, 2 sensed, 3 sensed, 4 sensed, and 5 sensed. Okay. So first one was gati is 4, caste is 5, then body, 5 types of sarir. Okay. Gross, that is audaric, that's all we have. Then we have the protean or transformable, Vaikriya, the Narki and the celestial beings. Okay. Infernal beings and celestial beings have this kind of body. If you cut it in 2 parts, again it will join back. That is called Vaikrik Sharir. Then the third type is Aharak, the assimilative. Okay. That is Aharak. Then the fourth type is luminous, Tejas. So that we also have Tejas and carbon and Audaric. These 3 we are carrying. When we leave this body and move to the next state of existence, in the interim, we will have only 2 bodies, that is Tejas and karmic. Okay. We will never be rid of Tejas and karmic until we get liberated. So when we get liberated, we will leave all kinds of bodies. Okay. So fifth one is karmic, carbon varga. So these are again 5. Okay. Now major and minor limbs of body called angopang. Okay. So hand, legs, etc. are major limbs and nose, etc. are minor limbs. Okay. So if the fingers of hand would be a minor limb, okay, hand is a major limb. So similarly, these are 3: Audaric, Vaikriya, and Ahara. Okay. Tejas and carbon doesn't have this limb. Okay. Because these are absent in one sensed beings. Okay. One sensed being have only space as the sense. Okay. So they don't have this. Then bondage, coming together of Parmanu to form a body. So that again is 5 types of body. Same. Audaric, Aharak, Tejas, carbon, and Vaikrik. Then molecular interfusion, Sangat, bonding of Parmanu in the body. So that is again of 5 types because 5 types of body. Then next page.
Sir, this is just one page. Oh, wait. So I'll open the next.
Yeah, another one. So that's the second part of this chart. In Hindi, it is all in one chart, but in English, they have done it in 2 phases. Okay. So the next is body structure. Sansthan determines the structure of the body. Okay. So these are 6 types, and the 6 types are explained in the bottom of that chart, but we need not go into deep because as far as the sutra is concerned, sutra only mentions the types. Okay. So types we are knowing, that's enough. Now we don't want to go into the subtypes, but as a general knowledge, we are also covering the subtypes now. So you better understand what is the major type. Okay. Sansthan. Okay. Then we have bone structure, Sahanan. Okay. Determines the structure of the bones and skeletal system. These are again 6. These are absent in one sensed, celestial, and infernal beings. Okay. So the one who gets liberated in the same birth, they have the highest level of Sahanan. Vajra, Rushab, Narach, Sahanan. Okay. So that means, Hanumanji, he was thrown from a very height and when he fell to the ground, he was a kid, very small kid, you know. So the ground broke, but Hanumanji was unscathed. Why? Because he was going to get liberated in the same birth. So they have that kind of structure of the body, bone structure is so strong that it never breaks, you know. Then we have touch. So touch, taste, smell and color. So these put together are 20 subtypes. Touch have got 8, okay. Then taste have got 5, smell 2, color 5. So this makes 20, okay. Then we have movement after death, Anupurvi. So according to this, when you leave a body, what is the shape that you assume or acquire? You know, the last body. Now supposing you are in an elephant state. Now you are transforming to a ant state. So ant is so small, elephant is so big. So in the transit, you will be maintaining the shape of the elephant. Then you will take birth in a small ant. So the space points would contract. And when you go to elephant, it expands. But the number remains the same. Not a single increase, not a single decrease. Okay. So it helps to maintain the past form shape of the body in Vigragrati, that is transit. So that could be 4 because we have only 4 state of existence. So you could be any of these 4 state, and then while in the transit you will acquire the shape of the last body. And the last one is fine or awkward movement. Viho ya gati helps to move in space. So it has got 2, fine and awkward. So in this way, we have covered 65 subdivisions, and the gross would be 14 Pinda Prakritis. Okay. So all put together is 65. Then the next we are going to look at next chart, one chart, 8 Pratyek Prakritis. So these are 8 individual type of karmas. Okay. The first name is
So
Nirman.
only the Ayu karm gets formed in this birth, but Nam karm, whatever is all we inherit. Means all this.
No. All the time we are binding all the 8 karmas. Only the Ayu karma, they have got specific time points where they are bound. Otherwise, 7 karmas we are binding every moment. Every moment, you know. Nam karma we are binding every moment. Okay. So these are the subdivisions that we are discussing right now. What are the types and subtypes? Okay. So 65 we already discussed. 8 are this one. Nirman. Fine formation of limbs and sublimbs in the right places. So body is very symmetrical. It's not that your ear is at this side and your eyes has gone that side. No. Because of this Nirman Naim Karma, you will have fine formation of limbs and sublimbs in the right places. Who can have all jivas? Then the next is Agurulagdu. Body that is neither heavy nor light. Okay. Then Upaghat. At times the limbs are the cause for self-destruction. Okay. And then Parkat. At times the limbs are the cause for destructions for others. Then we have Atap. Atap is body that emits warm light. Gross earth body developed beings. Then we have Udyot, body that emits cool light. Developed subhumans, Tiryanch Gati. And that body that emits warm light, I think that would be also, that will be just like sun, you know. So that is Atap. Then we have Uchvas, respiration. And the last one is Tirthankaratva, state of Tirthankar. So to become a Tirthankar, you have to bind particularly this type of
Karma.
karma prakriti. Okay. So that is called Tirthankar Nam Karma Prakriti. So these are 8. Okay. when is the rise of the Tirthankar Nam Prakriti? At the 13th stage. Before that, it doesn't rise. Okay. So all the omniscients only have a chance to become a Tirthankar. First, you become a omniscient, and then only like in this era, only 24 were Tirthankars. So, but there were infinite Kevlis. Okay. So it is not necessary that to get liberated, you have to become a Tirthankar. No. Tirthankars are only 24, but we can always have a general omniscience, who doesn't preach nothing, but they do get liberated. And that's how it is happening. 608 people getting liberated every 6 months and 8 moments. 608 comes out of Nigod, okay, and 608 goes to liberation. Okay, that's how the equilibrium is maintained, and still there are infinite souls. So then we have the last, so 65 plus 8, 73, and the 10 pairs. So that is 20, that is 93. Okay. So let's see how is the 10 pairs. So out of these 10 pairs, one would be always auspicious and another would be inauspicious. Okay. Pratyak Sarir. Pratyak Sarir means one body, one being. Okay. Like in bottle guard. It's only one life in one body. Okay. Then Sadharan Sarir, one body with many living beings, like we have in potato, onion, all this. This type of rise takes place only for Nigod, microjeeves, lowest form of living being, that is Nigod. Okay. One body, infinite lives in it. And that's why those are not to be consumed, because if you consume that, that means you are creating violence for so many lives at the same time. So then you would say that we are already making violence to one body when we eat, eatables like vegetables and all, fruits, all. But that is only one life. At your level, at our level, household level, there are some sins which are unavoidable. Like when you cook food, okay. So it is one sense being, Agni Kai, fire. So that's one sense being, but you cannot avoid. You have to cook food for your survival. Otherwise, how would you survive? So these are some of the things in the ecosystem that is being run automatically. And these are some of the kinds of sins that at a householder level, you cannot avoid. Okay. We do undergo such kind of violence, hinsa, at some point of time or the other. But for the monk, they don't cook food. So they don't have that kind of violence. Okay. Then we have the next pair coming up, Tras and Sthavar. So 2 sense to 5 sense being is Tras, 1 sense is Sthavar. Subhag, Durbhag. Subhag is liked by others. Okay. And Durbhag not liked by others. So again, if you are very popular in your, say, company and whatever, everyone likes you, everyone behaves you with very good, then it is all fruition of Nam Karma. And you feel that I am so good that everyone appreciates me. Okay. But we are not this mind, speech or body. Okay. We are pure soul, different from these. This is not our identity. Then we have Suswar, Duswar, sweet voice and not having sweet voice. Okay. So Lata Mangeshkar feels that I am the best singer. But it is again Nam Karma that is coming into play and not the individual. Okay. Then we have Shubh, Ashubh Nam Karma. Shubh means beautiful body parts, everything symmetrical, and Ashubh, ugly and repugnant. Ugly and repugnant form. So these are all fruits of Nam Karma. And these Nam Karma we have only bound in our past lives. Okay. So that's why in this birth we have got such and such body. Then we have Badar and Shuksham. Badar, gross body, which creates hindrances for others. Nobody can pass through it. And then we have Suksham body, subtle body, that does not obstruct others. Then we have Paryapt, developed, Aparyapt, undeveloped. Then we have Sthir, Asthir. steady parts of the body. Then asthir is deformed parts of the body. Then we have adey, anedey, body with shine, dull body without shine. Then we have yash kirti, name and fame in the mundane world. Okay, you have worked very hard in your company, but you are not being appreciated, and the other fellow has not worked at all, but is still appreciated. Why? What is the difference? Yash kirti. He has got, that's a past fruition, past what you have bound, that is coming into fruition. So he is getting name and fame, and even if you are working so hard, you are not getting. So that is called yash kirti and ayash kirti, not or yes. So this is how the 93 karma prakritis are. Now we come back to Tatvarth Mani Pradeep for the next descriptions. That is, 2 are left. So Nam karma was the 7th, and now we move on to Gotra karma, page number 122 in the PDF and 317 according to the Hindi text. Tatvarth Mani Pradeep. Types of Gotra and Antarai karma. So 2 are left, Gotra and Antarai karma. After the discussion on the types of Nam karma, we now talk about the types of Gotra and Antarai karma. Yes. Can you enlarge a bit? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Enough. Yes. Yes. So after the description on the types of Nam karma, we now talk for the types of Gotra and Antarai karma. So the first aphorism is for Gotra, Ucha, Nich. Nichassa. Okay, Uch Nichsa. So the karma due to the fruition of which one is born in a well-behaved, respected and praiseworthy family is karma causing high social status. Okay, so high status determining karma and low status determining karma, these are the two divisions of Gotra karma. The karma due to the fruition of which one is born in a condemnable, ill-behaved family, that is karma causing low social status, Nich Gotra karma. So this is a general statement. Now if you go to an advanced level, if your deeds are good, then only you are high status determining karma. Okay, if you are born in a high status determining karma, but your actions are of very inferior quality, then we would say there is a rise of Nich Gotra karma in you right now. That's why you are indulging in such condemnable act. Okay, and even if you are born in a low status determining karma family, okay, but your deeds are very good, you are doing very exceptional good things in life, then we would say you have a rise of Uch Gotra karma. So it is not where you are born, but it is because of your deeds, your action that you are present, that you are doing in the present, determines whether it is Uch Gotra or Nich Gotra. Then Antarai karma, it has got 5 subdivisions: Dan, Labh, Bhog, Upbhog and Virya. Okay. And based on the distinctions of obstructions to giving, Danantarai, obstructions to gain, Labhantarai, obstructions to enjoyment, Bhogantarai, obstructions to utilization, Upabhogantarai. So Bhog is a one-time consumption and Upbhog is repeated consumptions. Okay, but here they have interpreted it in a different manner. Okay, so Bhog is enjoyment and obstruction to utilization. So that is Upbhog, but Upbhog means repeated consumption. So like mobile, laptop, pen, we consume it again and again. So these are Upbhog items. But if you eat a sweet, then it is gone. So those are Bhog. Okay. One time consumption is Bhog, repeated consumption is Upbhog. Okay. So you can write down if you want here, you can change it. Enjoyment to one time consumption, obstruction to one-time consumption items. And obstruction to upabhog would be repeated consumption. So this much you can change. So the meaning would be clear. And the last one is obstruction to energy. Viryantarai. Okay. So these are the 5 types of antarai karma, and then it has been explained in one line each. Okay. So Himali, you read.
Types of Gotra and Antaray Karma.
No, that's done. Now we have
Starting from and based on
no, that also done. The next one, the karma.
the karma due to the fruition of which, even with the intention to give, one is unable to give. That karma is called karma obstructing charity, Dan Antaray Karma. Second, the karma due to fruition of which, even with a desire to gain and despite efforts, one is unable to receive gains. That karma is called karma obstructing gain, Labhantaray karma. Third, the karma due to the fruition of which, even with a desire to enjoy and making efforts, one is unable to obtain enjoyment. That karma is called karma obstructing consumption, Bhogantaray karma. Thank you. Fourth, the karma due to the fruition of which, even with a desire to use things suitable for repeated consumption, and despite efforts, one is unable to utilize them. That karma is called karma obstructing use things suitable for repeated consumption, Upbhog Antaray karma. And the fifth, the karma due to the fruition of which, even after trying, enthusiasm does not arise. That is called karma obstructing energy or effort, Veer Antaray karma.
So fourth one is repeated consumption. So the third one we can put it as karma obstructing one-time consumption. One time you can add down, so it will be all clear. One-time consumption and repeated consumption. Bhog, upbhog, and virya is of course the karma due to the fruition of which even after trying, enthusiasm does not arise. Okay, because of the virantarai karma, the karma that obstruct energy or effort. Okay, so these are the 5 types of antarai karma. So the first part, so how many types of bondages are there? 4. Okay, so this we discuss the first one, prakriti bandh, nature of bondage. Okay, so this is the first one we have done. Now the second one coming up is duration. Okay, the sequence is bit different here, but generally it is prakriti bandh, pradesh bandh, then we have sthiti bandh, and then we have anubhag bandh. Prakriti bandh is nature, then pradesh bandh is space points, bondage by space points, then sthiti is duration, and intensity, anubhag is intensity. So now we are discussing duration bondage. So after this 3, so one we have already discussed nature, then we are going to discuss sthiti, then pradesh, and then anubhag. Then we will move on to punya and pap. Okay, so that's very interesting discussion coming up, but let's finish today this one. Discussion on duration bondage. Okay, so today we will be completing the Tattvad Sutra, and next week we are going to begin with Ashtapahud. Okay, I'll be sharing the PDF today itself, and you have already got, those who have India, I've sent the courier. Okay, so in that it contains Ashtapahud. Okay, so you can refer to that. Now discussion on duration bondage. Okay, so Roshni, you only read.
Come off. Okay. Discussion on duration bondage, Sthiti Bandh. In the first and second sutras, the causes and nature of bondage, bandh, were discussed. Now in the third sutra, the types of bondage are discussed. There it was said that bondage is of 4 types: Prakriti bandh, nature of bondage; Sthiti bandh, duration of bondage; Anubhag bandh, intensity of bondage; Pradesh bandh, space or particles of bondage. Out of these, while discussing the nature of bondage, Prakriti, the 8 primary categories of karmas and their 148 subdivisions were discussed in detail. Now it is appropriate to discuss duration of bondage, Sthiti bandh. Out of the above, the first 4, knowledge obscuring, jnanavaran, perception obscuring, darshanavaran, feeling producing, vedanya, and obstructive karma, antarai, the maximum duration of these 4 karmas is 30 Kodakodi Sagar, a vast astronomical unit in Jain timescale. The maximum duration of deluding karma, mohanya karma, is 70 Kodakodi Sagar. The maximum duration of physic determining karma, nam karma, and status determining karma, gotra karma, is 20 Kodakodi Sagar. The maximum duration of lifespan determining karma, ayu karma, is 33 Sagar. The minimum duration of feeling producing karma, vedanya karma, is 12 Murat. 1 Murat is equal to 48 minutes. The minimum duration of physic determining karma, nam karma, and status determining karma, gotra karma, is 8 Murat. The minimum duration of the rest of the karmas is antar Murat, less than 1 Murat. Among the remaining are knowledge obscuring, jnanavaran, perception or obscuring, darshanavaran, deluding, mohanya, lifespan, ayu, and obstructive, antarai karma. The minimum duration of all these is antar Murat. Among these, the maximum duration of belief deluding karma, darshan mohanya karma, is 70 Kodakodi Sagar, and for conduct deluding karma, charitra mohanya karma, it is 40 Kodakodi Sagar. The bondage of the maximum duration of jnanavaran, darshanavaran, vedanya, and mohanya, antarai, nam, gotra, karmas occurs only in a life with 5 senses and mind, with full vital capacities and wrong belief, mithya drashti jiv. The maximum duration of lifespan karma, ayu karma, is bound by only being with 5 senses and mind, and with full vital capacities. The minimum duration of delusion karma, mohanya karma, is bound only in the 9th stage of spiritual development, or gunasthan. The minimum duration of lifespan karma, ayu karma, of a finite number of years is bound by beings of karma bhumi, humans and subhumans. The minimum duration of jnanavaran, darshanavaran, antarai, vedanya, nam, and gotra karma is bound in the 10th stage of spiritual development, Sukshma Samparai, a very subtle passion stage. Thus, this is the description of duration of bondage, Sthiti bandh.
So see, knowledge obscuring, vision obscuring, and power obscuring. Maximum could be 30 Kodakodi Sagars. All these are in Sagars, So it's a very long period, So one type of karma, it's going to give fruits for such a long period, 30 Kodakodi Sagar. And the delusion producing karma, the maximum is 70, because delusion has got 2 divisions. Actually, it should be deluding karma. Okay, so deluding karma maximum is 70, out of which darshan monia is 70 and charitra monia is, I think, 30 or 40. I think it is 40. 40. Okay, so charitra monia is 40, darshan monia is 70. Then sata vedni, feeling producing vedniya karma, that is 30 Kodakodi. Then nam karma, that is physic determining karma, and status determining karma is again 30. So maximum, most of them are 70 except for delusion, and lifespan determining karma only 33 sagar, which is a very, very minuscule period considered against these sagars. These are all in sagars, and lifespan determined karma is only 33 sagar, which is a very small time, compared to other durations. And this only happens in heaven. Okay. In heaven, there is a maximum lifetime span of 33 sagars. Okay. So minimum for most of them are antarmurat. Only feeling producing karma could be 12, minimum 12 antarmurats. And name and status determining karma is 8 antarmurat. Okay. Rest are all antarmurat means within 48 minutes, and murat means 48 minutes. Okay. So antarmurat means less than 48 minutes. Now, the specialities that we discussed in the end, among these, the maximum duration of belief deluding karma is 70 that we discussed, and for conduct deluding karma it is 40. So this is the bifurcation. The bondage of the maximum duration of knowledge obscuring, perception obscuring, and feeling producing, mohonia, deluding, antarai, name, physic determining karma, gotra, status determining karma, occurs only in a being with 5 sense and mind. Okay. So 5 sense and mind could be all the 4 states of existence. Okay. So the bondage of the maximum duration of these karmas would be in a 5 sense being and not in a 1 sense being, with full vital capacities and wrong belief. Because right believer will not have such long span of bondage of karma. Okay, it is only the wrong believer who binds such a karma. So if you consider all these durations, the maximum duration is for delusion, that is 70 Koda Kodi Sagar. So that's why delusion is considered to be the biggest sin, because its duration is so long, and to get out of it is really a very difficult task, and that's what we are doing right now. Every time you sit for studying Swadhyay Jinwani, you are making an attempt to annihilate the delusion karma, mithyatva. Okay. So that should be our primary objective, to get rid of delusion in the first place. And once the delusion is the king of all karmas. Okay. Monia karma, deluding karma is the king of all karma. And out of that, 2 divisions. Darshan mo, belief deluding karma, charitra mo, conduct deluding karma. So again, belief deluding karma is the greatest, because that is the only cause of our sufferings in the 4 states of existence. Okay.
So
So the primary
sir,
objective would be to get rid of this in the first place. Yeah.
sir, it's mainly due to passions, I guess.
Pardon?
Uh, this one, Mohonia karma, most of it is passions related, no?
No. 2 division, as I said. One is
Yeah,
belief deluding karma, which is not
yeah,
related to passion. It is related to your
yeah,
belief. How
yeah,
do you
belief, yeah.
understand, right?
Mhm.
And the other one is conduct deluding karma, that is related to the passions. So the major is the belief deluding karma, because the passions arises because of wrong belief only. So first we have to attack the main, that is belief deluding. Okay. So once you get rid of belief deluding, then the other, the passions automatically gradually goes away, and along with the delusion, the first level of passion also goes. So which is a very big chunk. Now whatever remains is just a drop in an ocean. So basically all our effort should be directed in getting rid of the belief deluding karma. And for that you have 3 steps again: study, contemplate, and decision. 3 steps only to get rid of belief deluding karma. There is no other shortcut. So what you need to do, you need to spare time every day to read this Jinwani. Then whatever you read, you contemplate on that and try to figure it out in your day-to-day life where you are going wrong, why this kind of passions are arising in me, what could be the logic behind that. Lot of factors. So if you contemplate on these lines, you will be able to recognize the problem. And once you recognize the problem, you will be able to solve it. Okay. So consciously, we will try to solve these problems, and whatever happens would be the eligibility of the moment.
Right.
So this was about
Thank you, sir.
duration. Okay. So now the next discussion is coming up about the intensity. So out of these four kinds of bondage, Prakriti Bandh and Pradesh Bandh. Okay. So these two happens because of what? Who will answer? What are the causes of bondage of nature and space point, Prakriti and Pradesh Bandh? What is the cause?
Man, Vachan, Kayana Yoga.
Yes, yoga. Okay. And what are the causes of duration and intensity of bondage? Passions. Okay. So the last two happens because of passions, intensity and the duration. And the first two, Prakriti and Pradesh Bandh, happens due to the yoga, that is the activity of the mind, speech and body. Now, which one is stronger? So the passion related bondage are very strong, and the bondages related to this yoga are very less impactful. In fact, in the Arihant, if you consider the Arihant state, there is an influx of Prakriti and Pradesh, but there is no bondage. So there is an influx and it goes away. Immediately it goes away. It is called Iryapat Asrav. Okay. But the bondage because of passions are very sticky. Okay. And you have to bear the fruits of those. You cannot escape without it. Okay. So the passions ones are the major. The bondage related because of passions are very major, and related to this activity of mind, speech and body are not that strong. Okay. So this is the conclusion. Now we move on to the intensity bondage, which has got a very big impact. Duration and intensity are the major factors, and that happens because of the passions. And the Arihant don't have passions, so they don't have any bondages. Okay. They do have nature and the space point type of bondage, but that doesn't stick. It comes in and goes out, comes in and goes out. Okay, because the passions are not there. So there in some scripture, there an example given that if the wall is sticky, okay, and if you put say lumps of clay on it, then it will stick. But if the wall is not sticky, then if you throw also, it will fall because it is absolutely dry. It will not the lump of clay would not stick over on the wall. Okay, so Arihant have Asrav's influx like this only. It comes and goes. It doesn't stick. It doesn't stay. Okay, and it doesn't give fruits also, and that is called Iryapat Asrav. So this we would be studying, I think, in the 10th chapter in the next sem. Okay. Okay. Now, intensity bondage. Okay, Maltiji, you read.
Yes, sir. Intensity bondage, Anubhag Bandh. After the discussion of the nature of bondage and duration of bondage, now we discuss the intensity of bondage, Anubhag Bandh. The fruition, Vipak, means the experience of intensity of fruition, Anubhag. That experience is in accordance with the name of the karma. With the fruition of karma, shedding, nirjara of that, with the fruition of karma, shedding or nirjara of that karma occurs. A special kind of maturation is called vipak, and vipak refers to the various kinds of maturations that occur due to the difference of substance, dravya, space, kshetra, time, kal, birth, bhav, and disposition. That's bhav. The vipak itself is experience, anubhav, and intensity, anubhag. When the virtuous mental dispositions are intense, the bondage of auspicious material karma particles is most, and that of inauspicious karma particles is the least. When the sinful mental dispositions are intense, then the bondage of inauspicious karma particles is most, and the auspicious karma particles is the least. The experience, anubhav, of or fruition, vipak, is of two types: own specific form, swamukse, and other related forms, parmukse. All primary mool karmic types undergo fruition, vipak, through their own specific form, swamuk. Among the secondary, that is uttara karmic types, except the lifespan ayu, belief deluding darshan monia, and conduct deluding charitra monia, the remaining karmic types that belong to the same class can also undergo fruition through other related forms, that is parmukh. For example, a human or subhuman birth, Tiryanchayu, cannot ripen from a hellish Narakayu karmic seed. Likewise, faith deluding karma, Darshan Mohniya, cannot result in fruition in the form of conduct deluding karma, Charitra Mohniya, and vice versa. The fruition of karma, vipak, is its experience, intensity, and fruition, anubhav, phal, occurs strictly in accordance with its specific type or name. That is to say, the fruition of knowledge obscuring karma, Jnanavan, will manifest only as an obstruction to knowledge and not in any other form. Once the karma give the result, they undergo shedding, nirjara. This shedding is of two types: savipak nirjara, the dissociation of karma after it has matured and given its result at the due time. Avipak nirjara, the dissociation of karma before its time due to the influence of austerities, tapascharya, or other spiritual efforts.
So that is the end of the Anubhag Bandh. So two types were discussed: own specific form, that is Swamukse, and other related forms, that is Paramukse. Now what does this mean? First we have to know what is the meaning of the term Swamukse and Paramukse. So the karma which has been bound in that manner, if it is come to the rise, it is called Swamukh. Supposing you have bound Jnana Varana karma. So the fruition will also be in the form of Jnana Varana karma. So it will be obstructing your knowledge. But it will never convert into Darshana Varana. Jnana Varana will never come into Darshana Varana. So the kind of bondage that you have done, it will come into fruition in that manner, that is called Swamukse. Then there are some other karmas which is called Paramukse, wherein they convert, So the major karmas don't convert. So all the 8 karmas are independent. But among the 8 karmas, internally, they could convert into subtypes, like Anantanubandhi Kashai can convert into apratyakhana varan, pratyakhana varan, and sanjvalan. Similarly like that. Okay. So they internally among them gets converted and then they come into rise. So you have bound Anantanubandhi, but now it is coming as the time of fruition in the form of pratyakhana varan, apratyakhana varan. So that is called Parmukse, other related form. Okay, so I hope now you would have understood. Now, let's understand it very clearly. A special kind of maturation is called Vipak. Okay, Vipak Anubhava or Vipak refers to the various kinds of maturations that occur due to the differences in substance, space, time, birth, and disposition. So these are the factors by which the maturation have variations. It is not necessary that the amount of karmas that you have bound, that much you have to face on maturity. Because of the instrumental cause of your sentiments that you are manifesting every moment. Now, like today, right now, we are doing studies. Okay. So we are into a very auspicious kind of thing that we are getting involved in right now. So we are binding such karmas, okay, like punya karma, merit karmas, okay. And our demerit karmas are also simultaneously getting converted into merits, okay, paramukh. Then there are some karmas which are getting reduced every moment. Okay, because of our swadhyay, our punya is increasing, but the pap is decreasing. Okay, and then some will come before maturity. Okay, so that is also one of the factors. So according to the instrumental cause of our sentiments manifested every moment, there are changes happening at the karmic level every moment. Okay, to all the people of the universe, whether it is 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, doesn't matter. Everyone is undergoing transformation in the karmas that has already been bound. It's changing, either it is increasing or decreasing. Now, in the same example, now if you are supposing not studying right now, and if you were watching TV right now, movie, right, then it is an inauspicious activity and you will bind inauspicious karma. So accordingly, all things, equations will change. Your pap will increase, punya will decrease, punya will get converted into pap, and the punya will come in a prematured state. Like supposing 100 kg of punya was bound and it was supposed to come into rise after 5 years. But because of your watching movie right now, indulging in inauspicious activity, that will get reduced to 2 kilo, 100 kilo to 2 kilo, and that will come right now. Okay, so you will have good benefits right now, but then your punya is going to completely destroyed. Okay, then you will only pap to face. That's why people are walking in the true path or in the right manner, they will have all struggles in their life because their pap is now coming prematurity, coming in a prematured form. So right now they might be facing difficulties, challenges, but after this birth, they will never have pap uday. So they will get all the good things in life. And you make it twist the example in a different manner, that somebody is doing very bad things right now. So what is happening? That we see progress in their life because their punya karma is coming in a prematured form right now. And once this is over, this life is over, they will not have any punya remaining with them. So they will suffer. They will suffer in all the 4 states of existence. Okay. So this is the changes that happens in the karma, in their intensity, in their duration. Shrenik Maharaja, when he threw the snake on the body of Yashodhar Muniraj, at that time he did a bondage, inauspicious bondage, because that was a kind of affliction on the monk. So he bound those inauspicious karma, and the karma was that he was supposed to land up in the 7th hell for a duration of 33 sagar. Okay, and subsequently there was a transformation in his life. His mind changed, his feeling for Jainism changed, he became a Jain, he manifested right belief, and then he manifested destructional right belief, Saivik Samyak Darshan. And because of that, since the Ayu was already bound, so he has to land up in hell. But what happened? From the 7th hell, the intensity reduced to the 1st hell, because 1st hell is considered relatively with lesser sufferings compared to the 7th. Okay, and the duration reduced from 33 sagar to 84,000 years. Okay, so this is an example of intensity and duration both together. Okay, duration also reduced and intensity also reduced from the 7th to the 1st hell. So similarly, in our day-to-day life, we whatever we get involved in, accordingly the karma keeps on changing. If you are involving in inauspicious activity, same will happen, and if you are involving in auspicious activity, all the good things are going to come in your life. And that's why we have seen that by and large, all the people who are born in a Jain family, they are born with a certain level of meritorious karma with them. So they get all the good comforts. But if you use those comforts or whatever facilities, privileges you have got, then if you use that for your spiritual upliftment, your punya will increase. But if you use it for sensual pleasures, you waste your time, then your punya will decrease. You will never get another opportunity. Okay. But what are the things that we are doing right now, all of you and me both, then it's a sign that we are going to get further good associations of Dev Shastra Guru. We are going to continue our journey, which we started right now. Maybe we have also done something in the past very good, and in that connection only we have come here, and we have again connected to this Tattva Gyan, and later on we are going to continue this journey, and it's going to culminate in liberation. Okay, so it's going to happen very fast. So this is
सर
the
कुछ आंसर्स मिल रहे हैं सर हमें भी.
मिल रहे हैं
हम
ना?
सुबह
हाँ
जिन दर्शन करते हैं, पाठ
हाँ
करते हैं, फिर स्वाध्याय करते हैं, लेकिन उसके बाद 1.5 घंटा टीवी देखते हैं. सर ग्लोबल न्यूज तो अपडेट करनी पड़ती है, तो हम 1.5 घंटा टीवी देखते हैं, तो वो 500 किलो हम 5 किलो कर देते हैं वैसे ही.
No,
According
it's
to what
not
you
like
said
that.
just
It's
now.
not like that. You know, see, the level at the level we are as a householder level. Okay, so some kind of activities. Why we are seeing global news?
जरूरी है सर वो.
Because it's connected to our day-to-day life. You
Yes.
have your investment somewhere. You have your financial obligations. You know, so all these are governed by global news. You know, now supposing tomorrow. There is a war, Iran and America war, you know. So
Yeah.
petrol stops coming here. So you will have to change your lifestyle accordingly that. Now already Modi ji declared that you avoid unwanted travels, you know, save petrol, save gold, you know, like that. So these are all, we are a part and parcel of that life. So we have to keep upgrade about this. So nothing wrong in that. But having said that, we have 24 hours. Okay. Out of that, 8 hours you take out for sleep, and another 4 hours for other activities like, you know, eating, bathing, and all this. So even 12 hours, if you are able to spend more than 6 hours, then you are still doing good, no? So 1 hour here and there doesn't matter. So, and as you develop interest, gradually it will increase. I was doing business, so I was only studying 4 hours a day, right? But my Vishuddha kept on increasing, and then I retired. So I am doing 12 hours a day now. Okay. And even if I'm not studying, my mind is always running on research on what I have read earlier, and I correlate it with the events happening in life around us, right? So it's again a kind of study only. Even if you are studying, if you are watching news, again you can be in Swadhyay at that point of time. If your angle, if your perception of understanding that knowledge or getting that knowledge changes, then you are still doing Swadhyay, right? So sometimes we feel that, oh, that was a close shave. Things could have gone very wrong. But because of our past meritorious karma, we have been saved. So at that point of time, you think on those lines. So it is again a Swadhyay, right? So you feel that whatever you are doing, whatever the decisions that you are taking in this life, and the choices that you are making in this life is all adding up to your helping you in your spiritual upliftment. So again, this is a Swadhyay. So Swadhyay is not something when you take book and read. Okay. Swadhyay is 24 hours. The way you think, the way you perceive, the way you contemplate, it all adds up to our Swadhyay. So our Swadhyay is not limited to bookish, but in every sphere of life, there is an impact of our spirituality everywhere. The wisdom that we are developing, that is helping us in every sphere of our life, whether it is business, whether it is relationship, whether it is what you call bringing up the kids, everywhere it's making a difference. So it has become an integral part of our life. So it's all Svadhyay only. Okay. So it's not only reading the books, it's Svadhyay. Okay. When the virtuous mental disposition are intense, the bondage of auspicious material karma particles is most, and that of inauspicious karma particles is least. So this is all vipak that we are discussing. Okay, vipak is the intensity. When the sinful mental dispositions are intense, okay, sinful. Then the bondage of inauspicious particles is most, and the auspicious karma particles is least. Okay, so as you study more, gradually all these durations in inauspicious activity will gradually increase. Okay, and the meritorious activities are going to increase. That's going to happen. Okay. Earlier we were not doing swadhyay for 1 hour a day. It's forget 1 hour. 1 hour in a week also not we were doing. And now you are studying every day. So there is a change happened. Okay. And you are only experiencing that change. So all primary karmic types undergoes fruition through their own specific form. They don't convert into one another. Okay. Primary, eight primary karmas. Among the secondary karmic types, except for lifespan, Ayu, comma, belief deluding, darshan monia, and conduct deluding karma. So Ayu and deluding karma, only two among the secondary karmic types, except for life and belief deluding and conduct deluding, the remaining karmic types that belong to same class can also undergo fruition through other related forms. That means you have bound an lifespan of say hell. So now that cannot be converted to heaven because Ayukarn never changes. Okay. And the darshan monia and conduct deluding also doesn't change. All the other 6 karmas are subjected to change into other categories of the same type. Not like Vedniya changing to Antray. No, not that way. Antray will remain Antare, but Dan, Labh, Bhog, Upbhog and Virya can change. Dan can change to Labh, Labh can change to Bhog. So the internal conversion, internal transformations may happen, but not the major one. Okay. For example, a human or subhuman birth cannot repent from a hellish karmic seed. Likewise, faith deluding karma cannot result in fruition in the form of conduct deluding karma and vice versa. So again, this fruition, once the karmas give their result, they undergo shading. Okay. So these shading are of 2 types, savipak nirjara and avipak nirjara. Savipak nirjara is happening to all the souls all the time. Okay. Past karmas is coming into fruition, it is giving its fruits and it is getting detached. So this is called savipak. Why it is savipak? Because you are binding new karmas also. Past karma coming into fruition, you are manifesting the sentiments, and with that sentiments new karmas are binding. So this is a general cycle happening across all the people, savipak nirjara. But there are special beings, enlightened beings, jnani. For them, avipak nirjara is also happening. And this is what the dissociation of karma before its time due to the influence of austerities or other spiritual efforts. Like right now, I gave you an example that you are doing swadhyay. So this is a spiritual effort, okay? And because of this spiritual effort, for the enlightened ones, because the enlightened ones are persons who are with right belief, and along with right belief, the anantanubandhi passions, infinite bonding passion has gone. So that much bondage is not happening. So that much dissociation is happening all the time. Okay. So that is what is happening called avipak nirjara. Without giving fruits, many of the karma will be offloaded from our space point. Okay. So that is called avipak nirjara. So that happens only for the people with right belief. Okay. And general happening with all the people is called savipak, giving fruits and going away, having at the same time doing new bondages also. But in avipak virjara, the old karmas are coming into fruition, you are not binding new karmas. And the second category is that the old karmas are getting offloaded without giving fruits. That is called avipak nirjara, and that happens to the enlightened ones only. Now the last one, bondage by space point, Pradesh Bandha. Jia.
Sir, actually, I'm traveling. Can someone answer me?
Oh, okay. No problem. Pratibha ji.
Yeah.
Bondage by space point, Pradesh Bandh. After the discussion of bondage by nature, Prakriti Bandh, bondage by duration, Sthiti Bandh, and bondage by intensity, Anubhav Bandh, now the discussion moves to bondage by space point, Pradesha Bandh. Can I skip this? All the subtle, infinite karmic particles according to their type of past, present, and future lives, and due to the activity of the soul, arrive and settle on the same space point of the soul. Ek Kshetra Avaga. This is called bondage by space point, Pradesha Bandh. The essence is that due to the presence of knowledge, obscuring, and other karmic types, Jnana Varna, Varnadi, Karma, Prakriti, coming from all directions and in all states of existence due to specific type of activity, yoga, there occurs the bondage of infinite, subtle, single space penetrating, Kshetra Avaga, karmic particle, which gets settled on all space points of the soul. Atmadesha. This is known as bondage of karmic matter to the spatial units of the soul. Pradesh Bandh. The definition and explanation of this Pradesh Bandh are as follows. The group of karmic atomic Karmanu Vargan contains karmic particles, Karma Pradesha of knowledge obscuring, Jnana Varna, and karmic atoms of all other categories of karma. Number 2, when these karmic particles bind to the soul space points in the form of single space penetrating bondage, Ek Kshetra Avaga, then a bondage of lifespan determining karma, Ayuband, is not obscuring at that moment, then they get distributed among the remaining 7 types of karmas or sometimes even among all 8. Number 3, this process continues constantly in all states of existence and at all every moment. Excuse me. Number 4, the instrumental cause, Nimit, in their bondage is the activity of mind, speech, and body, yoga. Number 5, all of these karmic atoms of units, Praman Pradesha, are extremely subtle, Shukshma. Number 6, in the countless space points of soul, excuse me, Asankhya, Atma Pradesha, there is an ongoing bondage of cluster of infinite karmic atoms, Ananta Karma Parmanu, Sakhanda. The essence is that due to the activity yoga, there is continuous bondage of infinite karmic particles, Karmanu, forming aggregate of karmic matter. Karmanu Vardhana is known as the bondage of karmic particles to the spatial units of the soul, Pradesha Bandha.
So you see, whenever you are manifesting sentiments, okay, so there are karmic particles all around us in the universe, okay. So the moment here the sentiments happen, okay, dispositions happen, accordingly the karmic particles get attracted, okay, and they come in the contact of the soul in the same space point. Although they don't touch the soul, but they are in the same space point, and that is how the bondages happen. Now these bondages happen in 4 ways, you know. Nature, so nature already we discussed 8 types. Then duration, which karma will stay for how many duration, and then the intensity. Intensity is going to give you the power. Okay, so all these three happens. Now what is Pradesh Bandh? Then Pradesh Bandh is the quantity. How much of Jnana Varan will get bondage? How many Darshana Varan? So is there any rule for that? So Todarmalji gave a very good example in Moksha Marg Prakashak, that when you eat food, right, who is deciding that how much will become blood, how much will become muscles, how much will go to the bones, how much will go in form of excretions? Who is deciding? Nobody is deciding. It's an automatic system happening. So similarly, with our sentiments as an instrumental cause, the karmic particles are coming and getting bonded in the same space point of the soul. Okay, so this is continuously happening because of our activity on mind, speech and body. Because of that, there is a vibration in the infinite, innumerable space points of the soul, and because of that vibration, there is an influx of karma happening all the time. Okay, so this cycle is going on. Now to stop the cycle, what we need to do? So whatever could be the rise of the karma, with the understanding that you are developing by studying the scriptures, that will help you in not manifesting reactions, not manifesting passions in the same situation. Like earlier, a glass was broken down by your servant. How much you would have scolded? Okay, and now with your studies, whatever you have done, okay, how much scolding you will give? Because now you know independence, that even if he tries to break that glass, it will not break. If my rise of punya karma is there, it will not break, although it might fall accidentally from his hand. But because there is a rise of punya karma of mine, it may fall on some cloth and it will not break. Okay, and if there is a rise of pap karma, okay, inauspicious karma of mine, then even it could fall from my hand and I could incur the loss. Okay, so at the end of the day, whatever we are experiencing right now is the fruition of our past deeds. We have nobody to blame. Okay, so the understanding the karma theory helps us that we don't react. Okay, we don't react on the persons because they are the instrumental cause. It is our own past deeds that has come into fruition, and because of this certain activities are happening in our life. So we have nobody to blame, right? And when you are not manifesting passions yourself, you are the most happiest person. You are the most person who has gained. Okay, so and even if somebody is doing wrong things to you, and with the help of these studies you are not reacting, not manifesting passions, then you are still a winner. Okay, so these are some of the findings that we understand by understanding this karma theory. Okay, so bondage of prakriti, pradesh, sthiti and anubhag is over the discussion. Now what we are going to discuss is punya and pap. So all the 10 stages of karma, okay, that we discussed in the karma theory last week in a happiness course, uh, bondage, then existence, then rise, then premature rise, then intensification, then what it was, decrease of karmas, then we had nikachit and nidati karma. All the 10 stages of karma, that is one divisions of karma, and then we have discussed these 8 karmas. Okay, and these 8 karmas and their subdivisions. All these karmas are again divided into auspicious and inauspicious. Now we were discussing Nam karma in the beginning of this class. So there are 93. Out of that 93, 37 are auspicious and rest are inauspicious. Okay, so every karma all the 4 aghati karmas, non-obscuring karmas, 4 types of non-obscuring karmas, they have these divisions of punya and pap, merit and demerit. But the ghati karma, obstructing karma, jnanavaran, dashnavaran, monia and antaray, they don't have divisions of merit and demerit. It is 100% demerit. Okay. Only division of merit and demerit comes in aghati karma, which are lifespan determining karma, physics determining karma, feeling producing karma, vedniya karma, and we have status determining karma. These 4 karma will have divisions of merits and demerits. Okay, so that we will discuss right now. It's again an important topic. Why it is being discussed everywhere? It is discussed in detail in Sem5. It is being discussed here because from time immemorial, people have this tendency to believe that if they are indulging in auspicious activity, that means they are doing some religion. But it is false. The understanding is false. Punya karma is also binding you. So the karma that is binding you, how it can be a cause of liberation? How can it be a cause of manifesting true religion? Okay. So because of this problem, everywhere Acharya thinks of discussing punya pap, because the soul from infinite times has this tendency to believe that punya is dharma, meritorious karma is religion, but in reality it is not. Okay, so we have to understand exactly what is the nature of punya and pap karma. I explained in a short, in very nice manner in happiness course, last part, maybe 10-15 minutes you can check. The essence of punya and pap has been given very nicely over there. We will not be covering that here because here we have to go according to the text. So text will discuss in a very small manner, but I have discussed with examples in a yesterday there was, I think, not yesterday, day before yesterday, there was Gujarati class on that karma. And then last Saturday it was English class. Okay, so you can check from there also. So I have covered all the basics in happiness course. So you must listen to that recordings if you have not already listened. That will help in your these studies more. Okay. So punya and pap karma is what we are going to discuss now. And Amitaji, you start reading.
After discussing the 4 types of bondage, now the karmas are classified into merit, punya, and pap, demerit. The pleasurable feeling karma, satavedniya, the human, subhuman, tiryansh, and celestial, dev, lifespan karmas, as well as the high status and the 37 physic determining karmas, nam karmas, are considered meritorious karmic types, punya karmas. In all, there are 42 meritorious karmic subtypes. All other types, prakritis, apart from these meritorious types, punya prakritis, are demeritorious type, karmas, pap prakriti. Such influx, ashrav, and bandhatva, bondage, bandhatva, have been analyzed in detail in the 6th, 7th, and 8th chapter. And since karma's influx and bondage have been discussed thoroughly, Acharya Dev thought that now, before proceeding to the next topic, the distinction between merit and demerit should be clarified. They are not righteous, dharma, but are also subject to influx and bondage. Therefore, they should be discussed here, especially since the upcoming chapters will deal with stoppage, samvar, shedding, nirjara, and liberation, moksha, and truly constitutes dharma. Thank you. Among the karmas, the 4 destructive karmas, ghatya karma, are entirely of the nature of demerit. Hence, all of their subtypes, prakritis, are also considered demeritorious. The non-destructive karmas, aghatya karma, on the other hand, do not obstruct the essential qualities of the soul Atmagun, and their presence is found even in the state of an Arhat Bhagwan, an enlightened, omniscient being. Even the Arhat Bhagwan, who is infinitely blissful and has attained infinite happiness, still possesses certain non destructive karmas in a residual form. However, among these, those karmas which act as causes, nimit, for unpleasant experiences in souls still tainted with attachment and aversion, which cause birth in low families, which lead to infernal or other inauspicious realms, or which are instrumental in association with inauspicious bodies, such karmas cannot be considered merit, punya. This is because merit is sometimes etymologically explained as yo punyati atmanam saha punyanam, that which purifies the soul is called merit, punya. Although the factual truth is this, whether a karma is the form of merit or demerit, if it binds the soul, atma, if it becomes the cause of bondage, then how can it be considered as means to purify? This is precisely why the Acharya Dev has included both merit and demerit under the section on karmic bondage, Bandha Adhikara. Among the non-destructive karmas, all those subtypes of pain-reducing feeling karma, asata vedniya, inauspicious lifespan, ashubh ayu, inferior family karma, gotra, and physic determining karma, nam karma, which serve as causes, nimit, for bringing adversity or suffering to the soul, are considered demeritorious. Only those subtypes are regarded as meritorious, which, from a worldly perspective, serve as causes for bringing favorable condition to the soul. Accordingly, there are 47 types of destructive karmas. All of these are demeritorious. Please scroll up. Thank you. Among the destructive karmas, there are 101 types in which both meritorious and demeritorious forms are included. Among these, the following 68 types are considered meritorious. 1.
Just read the English names, okay?
Okay, thank you. Pleasant feeling karma, lifespan as an subhuman, lifespan as a human, lifespan as a celestial being, high family status karma, human realm of rebirth, sequence leading to human rebirth, celestial realm of rebirth, sequence leading to celestial rebirth, five sense body class, the five types of bodies, gross physical body, translocatory subtle body, transformable body, warm subtle energy body, karmic subtle causal body. The five types of body bonding karma.
The English names you can repeat from the previous one, last 5. Audarik is gross physical body. Aharak is translocatory subtle body. Then Vaikrik is transformable.
Vaikriya is transformable body. Tejas is warm, subtle energy body. And Karman Sharir is karmic, subtle, causal body. The five types of body configuration.
Same.
Audaric,
Leave it, same. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rosh. The three types of limb and sublimb formation. Audaric Sharir Angopang, Vaikriya Sharir Angopang, Aharak Sharir Angopang. 20 prakritis related to Varganas, clusters of particles. Soft touch, hard touch, heavy touch, light touch, cold touch, hot touch, stable touch, dry touch. Please scroll up. Thank you, Rosh. Sour touch, sweet touch, bitter taste. sour taste, sweet taste, bitter taste. The pungent taste, name determining karma. Spicy taste, the pleasant fragrance, name determining karma. The foul odor, name determining karma. The black color, name determining karma. The yellow color, name determining karma. The blue color, name determining karma. The red color, name determining karma. The white color, name determining karma. Perfectly symmetrical body structure. Indestructible bone joint structure. Neither heavy nor light ideal weight. Capacity to harm others. Pleasant exhalation or breath. Aura or halo of heat, light. Brilliance or luminous glow. Please scroll up, Roshni. Thank you. Auspicious motion or movement, ability to move, mobile being, gross body, perceivable by senses, vital capacities, independent or individual body, stability or steadiness, auspiciousness, charming or pleasing personality, melodious or pleasant voice, acceptability or receptivity, fame and glory, ability to assume a divine or created form, the state or status of a Tirthankar. Thank you, Roshni. From the perspective of differentiation, Bheda Vivek, there are 68 auspicious Punya karmic categories, and from the perspective of non-differentiation, Abheda Vivek, there are 42 auspicious karmic categories. This is because 16 subdivisions of color, etc., under physics determining karmas, 5 types of bondage, and 5 types of integration, Sangat, thus totaling 26 prakritis are excluded, leaving 42. There are 100 pa prakritis in auspicious karmic subtypes, which are as follows.
So you see, from the perspective that total karmas are 148, okay? Out of this, obscuring karma, ghati karma are 47 and 101 is aghati karma. Now, this aghati has got divisions of punya and pap, okay? So, the 20 that we counted of space, taste, touch and smell, so that 20 will come in punya also and pap also. So, that's how it has become 168, okay? Out of this 168, there are 68 auspicious and 100 inauspicious. So that's why the count is 168, because that 20 is coming in both in punya and pap. Okay. So like taste, taste, smell could be punya for some species and pap for somebody. Okay. So that's why it is 168. So the calculations is like that only. Okay. Now these names that has to be read. I think Madhuji, you can try.
Yes, sir. Thank you. There are 100 Pap Prakritis, that is inauspicious karmic subtypes, which are as follows. All subtypes of destructive karmas.
So all 1 to 47 are destructive, the part of Pap Prakritis. Okay, there is no distinction of Punya and Pap in obscuring karmas. The distinction exists only in the non-obscuring karma that we have already discussed. So that is 1 to 47 is all subtypes of destructive karmas. Okay. Now 48 onwards.
Yes. All subtypes of destructive karmas, inferior lineage determining karma, pain feeling karma, hellish lifespan karma, hell destiny karma, sequential hell destiny karma, animal destiny karma, sequential animal destiny karma, one sensed birth species determining karma, two sensed birth species determining karma, three sensed birth species determining karma, four sensed birth species determining karma, banyan shaped body structure determining karma, hunchback shaped structure determining karma, dwarf shaped structure determining karma, miniature shaped body structure determining karma, deformed body structure determining karma, diamond pin joint bone structure karma, pin joint bone structure karma, half pin joint bone structure karma, wedge joint bone structure karma, loosely connected bone structure karma. Then 20 types, subtypes related to color, touch, taste, and smell. Soft touch determining karma, hard touch determining karmas, heavy
That you
touch
can leave. That you can leave. That is same repetition.
Yes. So 89. Destruction causing karma. Then karma causing movement in improper or impure bodily states. Immobile state determining karma, subtle form determining karma, non-developable vital energies karma, one body shared among many souls. Unstable, inconstant body karma, inauspicious body karma, unfortunate, ill-fated karma, harsh, discordant voice determining karma, non-acceptability determining karma, infamous, reputation determining karma. From the perspective of differentiation, these are all 100 demeritorious karmic subtypes. From the perspective of non-differential, they are differentiation. They are continued as 84 since
Counted as 84.
yes, they are sorry, they are counted as 84 since 16 subcategories of color, etc., are excluded. Among these, the bondage of two specific karmic subtypes, the karma causing mixed right and wrong belief. Then, the deluding karma obscuring right belief does not occur. Therefore, when these two are excluded, the number of demeritorious karmic subtypes from the perspective of differentiation becomes 98. And from the perspective of non-differentiation, it becomes 82. However, both of these karmas have their existence, and there is Sata and fusion, Uday. Hence, from the standpoint of existence and fusion, there are 100 karmic subtypes from the differentiated view and 84 from the undifferentiated view. All of these
So this is
meritorious and
Bhed Vivaksha and Abhed Vivaksha. Okay. So in the Bhed Vivaksha, the figure would increase. So that is 168 in the Bhed Vivaksha. Abhed Vivaksha, it will come down because they are putting these categories. Now we saw 14 pinned prakritis in the beginning, right? Nam karma. So those 14 prakritis constitute 65 subdivisions all put together. So that is how in the differentiated category and non-differentiated category, the figures are varying, but that's just a way of explaining. Okay. Now, all of these meritorious and demeritorious karmic subtypes are in the form of bondage. For this reason, they have been included on the topic of karmic bondage. And now we are coming on to the last part of this chapter. So it's just the discussion about the punya that we started with, that people have this tendency to believe meritorious as a part of religion. And because of that, Acharya thought of writing about punya and pap separately. Okay. So the sense of unity, ekatva bhav, between meritorious and demeritorious karma has been expressed here by placing both under the category of karmic bondage. Both are a cause of bondage. Find supportive expression in the text Pravachansar composed by Acharya Kund as follows. This is verse number 77 from Pravachansar. In this way, the person who does not accept that there is no real difference between punya and pap, merit and sin, that is, who does not regard them both equally, both as equally to be abandoned, dono hai, such a soul being obscured by delusion continues to wander endlessly in the vast and dreadful ocean of worldly existence for infinite time. So a very strong statement is being said by Kund Acharya, said that those who doesn't realize the difference between merit and sin, both are a cause of bondage, and some feel that merit is better than pap, then it's a wrong understanding. You are under the influence of delusion, being
Sir, can I
obscured by
interrupt?
delusion. You will continue to wander endlessly in this transmigration. Okay, so that would be the fruit if you don't differentiate between the if you differentiate between punya and pap as far as the path of liberation is concerned. So in the path of liberation, both have the same status because both are cause of bondage. No one is a cause of liberation. Okay, so that is one. So another example was given that if you are put in a jail made of gold or made of iron, what is the difference? No difference, because in both the cases you are in jail, you are under the bondage, right? You are not getting independent. So how we can say that gold cage is better than the iron cage? No, both the cases you are bonded. So similarly, punya and pap, as far as the path of liberation is concerned, they are in the same category. Okay.
So, yes, sir, can I interrupt?
Yeah.
सर अभी है ना, कोई प्रेज करता है तो वी स्माइल, एंड कोई बुराई करता है तो रिएक्शन इमीडिएट आ जाता है, तो ये भी पाप हो गया, पाप इन दिस
हाँ,
इज
तो
वाइंड.
रिएक्शन तो नहीं करना है ना, अपने को समझ लिया. अब कोई बुराई करता है तो उसकी योग्यता है बुराई करने की, राइट? सो
तो रिएक्शन
व्हाई वी शुड रिएक्ट, व्हाई वी शुड गेट डिस्टर्ब?
नहीं, ठीक है, बुराई में नहीं रिएक्ट की, अब कोई प्रेज किया तो स्माइल तो आ ही जाता है चेहरे पे, तो दैट इज अगेन
दैट इज
बॉन्डेज.
नेचुरल. भूमिका अनुसार तो भाव तो होंगे ना. वी आर नॉट वितरागी,
तो
राइट?
वही
वी आर नॉट मॉन्क्स. So
हाँ,
definitely some reactions would come,
तो बॉन्डेज
but
हो गया.
at least at the understanding level, you can always understand that there is no point in reacting. Although
Yeah.
we are reacting, but there is no
Yeah.
point in reacting. Okay.
तो वो तो फिर है ना लास्ट में ही आएगा ये ज्ञान के, नहीं स्माइल भी नहीं करना है.
So this is a continuous journey, no? तो जैसे पहले रिएक्ट करते थे ऐसे अब नहीं कर रहे हैं 2.5 years के बाद, राइट? और भी और 2.5 years हो जाएंगे तो और आप मास्टर हो जाओगे, और प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो और मास्टर हो जाओगे. So it's like it's a gradual kind of development that is happening all the time. With as much as you study more, you will have better understanding. So that's going to happen.
सर हंसी भी एक जात का एक
Passion.
नौकर्म होता है ना?
Yes, passion. It's a passion. It's not no karma, it is no kashai. Hasya,
नौकशाही,
rati,
sorry.
so bhai, jugub sastri ved, purus ved, and napulsang ved. So all these are passions, quasi passions. It's called quasi passions. Okay.
Yeah,
So
body type. Yeah.
In the section on merit and sin of the Samaisar, both merit and sin are described as shackles. Merit is referred to as golden shackle, while sin is likened to an iron one. Regardless of the metal from which a shackle is made, it is still a bondage. In this way, there are 47 destructive karmas and 101 non-destructive karmas, making a total of 148 subtypes of karmas. Okay. Among these 148 subtypes, 68 are meritorious and 100 are sinful subtypes. So here we have to mention 168, not 148, because you are already mentioning 68 and 100. So that works out to 168. So you can write 168 because that touch, taste, sense, smell, those 20 are included in punya also and pap also. Okay. Here a question arises: if 68 are meritorious and so same answer has been 100, how can it come? The 8 types of touch, 5 types of taste, 2 types of smell, and 5 types of color, these 20 prakritis exist in both auspicious and inauspicious forms. Okay. This results in a duplication, thus increasing the count by 20. By placing Tirthankar Nam Karma, the karmic subtype responsible for producing a Tirthankar, under the section of bondage, Bandh Adhikar, the Acharya has made it explicitly clear that no matter how great merit may seem from a worldly perspective, it is still in essence an inflow of karma and a bondage forming disposition. The point is that even towards the karmic form that gives rise to a Tirthankar, one should not develop deluded attachment, as it too is a form of karmic influx and bondage. Thus ends the 8th chapter. Okay. So this is all we have for this paper on Tattvat Sutra. now one paper is remaining, paper number 3. There we will be having 2 subjects. One is Samaj Seeker, which is a self-study, but we will be studying in the class. And the other one is about Ashtapaud. So Ashtapaud I have already sent and I will be sharing the PDF today. So this will be done. Okay. So now in this session we will be now after completing this, we will break for 15 days and we will again start early in July, and then we will again take a break of 10-12 days. Okay, so this is how it's going to happen. So I think another 3 weeks will go for completing these 2 subjects, 3 or 4 weeks maybe, but we will be doing it very slowly and in an elaborate manner. Whatever is there we will be covering. So I've already given on homework on this Tattvat Sutra. Now your this is remaining what you called Viva, right? Viva is remaining. So I am going to give you 3 questions. Maybe in a day or 2 I will be. So your last day was, I think today is last day, no, of your assignment.
Yes, sir.
So many of you have not completed. So just give me a feedback where we are struck up. We can do orally also. If you're not finding time to writing, we can do it orally also. You are welcome to call me and fix an appointment so we can finish orally also, but you should complete by today, end of day. Okay. So once this is finished, maybe by Sunday or maybe tomorrow, I will release those 3 questions. That will be general questions. Okay. So you don't have to prepare anything. You have to just talk from the heart. So that's going to be like that only. So first of all, you finish today's deadline and then we will discuss it later on this one. Okay. Any questions for today?
Yes, sir. Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead, Himaliji.
No, I just wanted 1 day's extension to submit the. So I have really had a very hectic week. For
Okay.
that
So tomorrow
need.
I'm extending tomorrow for all. Okay.
Yes.
So those who are giving by tomorrow, by submitting by tomorrow, they will get an extension. And those who are dealing by later than tomorrow, their marks will be cut. Okay, 2 marks will be cut. But nevertheless, do it. Don't take so much of time. Okay. Anyone
Sir?
else? Yeah, Roshni.
Sir, I'm finding I'm a little bit confused. So a lot of these karmas that the types of karma we learned today, they seem to impact everything that is related um Panch Indriya. And those are functions of Pudgal.
Yes.
So I'm confused. Is karma bound by soul or is it bound by Pudgal? And who bears the fruition of karma? Is it soul or is it Pudgal?
Very good question. So first you have to understand that soul and karma are there since time immemorial. It was not that the soul was free from karma and then somewhere from karma cropped in. No, it's not like that. Just like gold and mud. When you extract gold from the gold mine, it comes along with the mud, impurities, right? And then you heat it up and get the pure gold. Similarly, these are together since time immemorial. Okay. There is no beginning of the bondage. So it is time immemorial, both are together. Now, if you don't consider the relationship between the karma and the soul, which is of course an instrumental cause and effect relationship, okay, nimit namitik sambandh, if you don't agree to this relationship, then how do you prove the existence of the soul in the transmigration? And why then the need for giving preachings? Okay, so there is of course a connections between soul and karma. Okay, it's not that karmas are pudgal and soul is conscious substance, so there is no relation. No, even they are 2 different substances, but there exists a instrumental cause and effect relationship. Okay, so that relationship is from the conventional point of view. from the real point of view, there could not exist a relationship between the two substances. Now, just because that the soul in the worldly existence, in the sansara avastha, okay, it is experiencing sorrow just because of this karma. If the karmas would not have been there, then all would have been just like liberated souls, Siddh Bhagwan. Because all have equal attributes. But some of attributes of us is manifesting in the wrong direction, and just because of the karmas. Okay. So without accepting karmas as an instrumental cause, we would not be able to prove anything. Okay. So karma, you have to accept, is a entity which is an instrumental cause. It's not a direct cause, you know, it's an instrumental cause. So understand it as an instrumental cause. Okay. So when there is a transformation happening at the soul level in the modification, there is a corresponding instrumental cause of karma also existing. And that's how the relationship goes between karma and the soul. So we cannot say that I am suffering because of karma. I am suffering because of my not putting the best efforts. I am suffering because of my fault, my wrong understanding, my wrong belief. Okay, I am suffering because of my wrong belief. But simultaneously, there is a corresponding instrumental cause in the form of karma. That relationship you have to accept. You cannot ignore that. Okay. So that's why we have two viewpoints, conventional and real viewpoint. Both together only forms the complete picture, you know. We cannot avoid the conventional viewpoint, although our purpose is solved by the real point of view, right? But at the same time, we cannot avoid also. So the karma is such an entity, okay, that it does not do directly anything in the soul. But having said that, without karma, nothing happens also in the soul. Okay. So whatever alien dispositions happening in the modifications of the soul are just because of the instrumental cause of karma. Okay. Because these are some of the things that are manifesting in our modification, not by taking shelter in the soul. These are manifesting because of the instrumentality cause of the karma. So we have to accept karma's entity somewhere down the line, and that's why so much of preaching is being given, that if you react in such a way, you will not bind new karmas, and if you don't bind new karmas, the old karmas will come and go away, and you will get liberated. Okay.
Yeah.
So to prove the liberation process, we have to define the karmas, relationship between karmas and the soul. And that relationship is of instrumental cause and effect relationship, and that we also have to accept. There is nothing could be done about that.
Okay.
Okay. So when we say that karmas and soul are two different substances, there could not be any relationship from the real point of view. That is also true. And when we say there exists an instrumental cause and effect relationship, which is again a conventional relationship, that is also we have to accept.
Yeah.
Because our religion, our theory of Jainism is a theory of non-absolutism. Okay.
Yes.
So here everything is from a certain perspective. So from that perspective, everything is justified. So we don't have any problem.
Yeah. Nishchay Vyavahar.
Yes, yes. Okay. Very good question. Everyone should ponder about this, how this is. On one side we say that we don't have any relationship, and on the other side we say we have a cause and effect relationship. So how this is? So this Nishchay and Vyavahar will explain this. Okay. Anyone else having any questions? Still we have 5 minutes to go. Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है. 9 times Namokar mantra.